podcast where ideas take shape, thoughts find out, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. He is an ex-marine and, of course, a personal trainer, none other than Mr. Reid Jones. Welcome, Mr. Reid on Abstract Essay. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Reid Jones. Like you said, I was ex-Marine. I joined the Marines straight out of high school. I got in some trouble after 3 years. I got kicked out. Um, my father committed suicide shortly after, and I had a daughter on the way. So um, I've been through a lot of challenges, a lot of pain, and I've learned to transform it into something powerful. And I teach other people how to do the same and how to change their lives for the better.
Changing life for the better. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Reid. Thank you. And let's talk about turning pain into power. Tell us, before we talk about the power, can you describe the nurture of the pain you had to face? What is the sudden rupture or slow lingering ache?
Yeah, so it began as a child, man. My father, he was an addict. So all throughout my childhood, secondhand, I was experiencing, addiction through alcohol, drugs, and the lifestyle that also comes with it, because it's very chaotic, very reckless. And as a kid, having a present father that's not so present, meaning that means I'm present through all the pain, right? So I want that fatherly love, I want that direction. I'm trying to learn how to become a man, and my dad's handling all his problems with the drinking and with the drugging. So it really began there, watching him be in and out of jail, in and out of rehab, and just wanting him to be the father I needed. It really shaped me in a different way. So ultimately, that's what led me into the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps was my path to become a man. And although it taught me a lot of things, I wasn't really ready for it. Um, I was pretty wild and pretty reckless. I went down a path of like violence and drinking, and it led me into a lot of trouble, which ended up getting me kicked out. So I got a other than honorable discharge. If you ain't too familiar with that, it's basically like um, we'll say kind of like getting a felony, right? So it's affected me out here in the real world, and I can't work a government job and stuff like that. So yeah, transitioning out of the military, man, big challenge. Like I said, my dad committed suicide. It probably 2 or 3 months after getting that discharge, and at the same time, I was continuing my reckless ways. I had a girl pregnant, so I had a daughter on the way. My dad committed suicide. A lot of things happening at once, and like I was continuing with my bad habits and such. So I was drinking, and it was getting me in a lot of fights. I actually got my second DUI during this time, which led me back to my mom's house as a grown man. And this is where I had my spiritual awakening, man, where I really transitioned my life into for the better, and came up with my plan to be a coach. So it was a very powerful moment for me.
There are often moments when the pain becomes too great to ignore. What was the catalyst that forced you to stop simply enduring and start considering you could transform it?
Yeah, so really, when I was sitting over there at my mom's house, like I said, I was still continuing with my bad habits. I just remember sitting there one night. I was super drunk. I had a bottle of liquor in my lap, and I was feeling super depressed. I was getting overwhelming feelings of just depressed, sad. And I sat there with myself, man. And I said, I still have the same problems. I'm sloppy. I keep on getting in trouble and trouble. You know, my dad led down this path, and I seen where it led him. So I told myself, you know, I'm gonna make a change. Like I'm tired of this. I'm tired of feeling ashamed. I'm tired of feeling embarrassed, and it's time to make a change. So what I did, man, I took inventory. Um, the next day, the first thing I did, I ordered me some books. I got me a journal. I started journaling everything. I wrote down my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, my threats. I wrote down any asset I had, and I came up with a plan. So you know, I took my strengths inventory, all this stuff, and I came up with a conclusion. Hey, I'd be a good life coach in general. You know, witnessing my dad go through all kinds of mental health and addiction struggles, and then me experiencing it on my own. My goal was to overcome that because it was the hardest thing in my life for me to overcome, the biggest challenge. So I said, once I overcome this, I know I'm capable of doing anything, and I can teach anybody how to go through anything.
There are often a moment when the pain becomes too legitimate sinking into our daily lives. How do you ignore those pain?
How do I know them?
How do you ignore them and
Oh,
let
ignore
it
them.
go?
Oh, I disagree with the ignoring. To be honest, I'm a believer in confronting it, man, confronting it and killing it. So if you're talking about in a sense of like things from the past, like we'll say the pain of my father being gone, the way that I confront it is by just living the best life. You know what I'm saying? I have a belief that he's up there, he's looking down on me, man, and I want to make him proud. You know what I'm saying? I want to prove with my actions and the way that I'm living that I've used his life and the things that I've learned from his experience in life to become a better me, and show my people that I've transformed my life. I inspire my people. I teach my people. They look up to me as a leader, and then I'm motivating, inspiring people myself. I think that's the whole purpose of life, is to become the best you, and inspire other people to do the same and keep that cycle going. So yeah, there's a lot of different types of pains, and I confront them all a little bit differently. But when it comes to the past, man, I look at it as the training grounds, man. I don't like to sit and dwell on it because I've already experienced the pain once. My father's gone. I experienced that pain once. I'm not gonna keep on punishing myself and feeling the pain over and over and over again. I believe life is about overcoming and just moving forward, man. Because we can't control the past, we can't control the future. All we can control is right now. The only thing we truly have control over is right now. So we got to take full advantage of that and move forward.
Move forward for sure. So, what was the initial narrative to tell yourself about your pain? Is that I am a victim, this broke me, or my life is over? How does the story change?
Man, so for sure, I did have the victim mentality at times, a lot of times, and my life didn't change until I took full accountability, man, full responsibility. And it's easy to be a victim, for real. It really is easy to be a victim. That's the easy path, is to say, oh, it was my childhood, or it was the military, it was this and that. But it gets to a point where you have to be accountable. You have to be responsible for everything, and it's nobody else's fault. And the more you try to sit in that mentality, the deeper you just dig yourself into a hole. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of victim mentalities along the way, man. But like I said, when I went through my transformation, I understood that the victim mentality, it's weak, and it's a low level environment to be operating in. There's no growth there. So if you want to grow, you got to take accountability, take responsibility, take inventory and, just create an action plan and take full responsibility for everything.
What was the very first small step you took that felt like you were moving with your pain instead of being crushed by it?
I like that question, man. So the way that I look at it, the way I reflect on it is, so people like me, and I'd say people like my father too, man. We got a lot of energy. We got a lot of momentum, a lot of energy that sometimes we don't know where to put it. So with my father, man, I realized after going into deep thought and deep reflection on his life, he had a lot of energy, which was, energy's potential. It's got to go somewhere. And he had choices every day. His choice was to keep on drinking, keep on drugging. So all throughout the day, he made a choice to pick up that drink or to hit that drug, whatever it was. So I realized I got to take control of these choices. And it really boils down to, where are you channeling your energy? You got all this energy built up. Pain is energy. Trauma is energy. And it's all about where you channel it. A lot of people channel it into destructive habits, and I've been there. I've did the same thing, and it just beats you down. It destroys you. And when you learn to channel it into the positive habits, the ones that build you, it's crazy. The results you get out of it. So what I always tell people is, for every time you drink that beer or you hit that drug, imagine if you was to pick up a book or hit the gym or go spend some quality time with your family. If every time you made that choice rather than a destructive choice, it would be insane. The amount of results you would get. Your life would change tremendously.
Was there a specific practice, therapy, philosophy, or type of support that become your most essential tool for this alchemy, for turning leader or lead and pain into a golden power?
So I think you said it right there, man. Putting yourself in a leadership position, because when you're a leader, you got people looking up to you, and you also got people that are waiting for you to slip up, in a sense. So I believe putting yourself in a leadership position gives yourself power, because you held yourself to a higher standard. If you don't have no standard and you don't have no expectations, it's easy to slip. It's easy to slack off, because there's nothing expected of you. So yeah, I believe put yourself in a leadership position, and have some high standards.
The process is not linear. Can you share about a time you thought you had transformed the pain only to have it resurface? What did that relapse teach you about the true nature of this work?
Yeah, so I definitely completely understand that, and I feel like the pain wasn't the same pain. I had new pain. I had new challenges on the journey. So what I realized, because I got sober, I went like a 6 months where I was just completely sober. All I did was constructive things. I was journaling, I was reading books, I was working out, I was making money. Everything I did, I deemed as beneficial, positive, and productive. So through this process, man, I'd have temptations of wanting to drink, wanting to act out of my old ways, but I kept on reminding myself of the pain that was associated with those habits. And it's just like the more I stayed aligned with my mission, and I started seeing results and changes, especially with the people around me and the way that I impacted them and influenced them. It was just a constant reminder, like, don't step off track, because there's a lot of results that come with this. So ultimately, that became my purpose, and everything else was just simply a distraction or something that was going to slow up the momentum. So yeah, I had some pain, um, I had some challenges, mainly with the people around me. Man, I feel like I dealt with a lot of kind of want to say like jealousy when I was going through my transformation, because everybody was so used to me just being kind of a failure and making mistakes over and over again. So once I really truly dialed in my life and got on the positive habits, it exposed it exposed people around me, exposed kind of their bad habits and their weaknesses that was once accepted by me because I was also living the same way. So once you're going through that transformation, your friend group's going to switch up, and even your family, you might have different type of issues with your family. So it's like my pain was evolving. I kind of like moved on from my initial pain, but I had new pains that was evolving, and I call that growing pains, man. So I look at those as good pains, but you have to be aware. You have to understand that life, there's going to be pain, and you just got to know what are you getting out of the pain. Are you getting results, or is it digging you into a deeper cycle of just pain that you're causing yourself, and it's not coming with no results? You know what I'm saying? So
Mr. Reed, a huge part of turning pain into power is rewriting the story. How do you consciously shift from a narrative of this happened to me to this what I'm building because of this?
interesting question. That's a difficult question. Can you repeat that for me?
A huge part of turning pain into power is rewriting the story. How did you consciously shift from narrative of this happened to me to this what I'm building because of this?
I just had such a strong vision, and I had so much pain that was just fueling me. Like I feel like I had so much fuel because I had so much pain. I didn't even really get too deep about it, man. It was just like I had a fire under I had a fire under me, man, that was just pushing me every day. I knew I had to. It became survival. Like I knew the way that I was living, it was going to lead me into the grave or it's going to lead me into prison. So I really had no other choice. Like it's that fight or flight, and essentially I was doing both. I was fighting and I was flighting. I was headed to where I needed to be, and there wasn't really much of an option. It was either I made it happen and I stayed along with my purpose in life, or it was dead or in jail.
Mr. Reed, what does power mean to you now? Is it quiet confidence, a fierce boundary, a deeper empathy, or a newfound purpose?
I would say more associated with newfound purpose, man. I think power is it starts with self-respect. Once you love yourself and you respect yourself and you feel fulfilled, that alone is powerful because um you don't have what would I say here? We'll say it like this: you're moving with clarity. You know what I'm saying? When you're not living right, you have regret, you have fears, you have all these fears associated, and you can't just move on a direct path with clarity. So once you're on your purpose and you're living correctly, you just go down the path. You already know what to do. You're listening to that voice inside you that's telling you, build yourself, do this. So yeah, just staying along with that purpose.
What is the unexpected strength, skill, or depth of compassion possess that was forged directly in fires of your pain, Mr. Reed?
Can you repeat that again?
What is unexpected strength, skill, or depth of compassion you now possess that you now know was forged directly in the fires of your pain?
I would say the major strength that I have now is just awareness. Aware of my thoughts, my habits, my actions, and then just being aware that there is going to be pain. There's uncontrollable variables in life, and the only thing I can really control is my perception on those external things, and I can control where I'm headed or where I'm headed away from. So I can control to move towards something or to move away from something, man. So that I really keep it real simple. I'm either moving towards productive things, things that are going to serve me, or I'm moving away from negative people, negative environments. Like I just keep it simple like that.
Simple as like that. So, how's your
But
relationship with setting boundaries transformed? Do you see your boundaries now as a form of power that was born from knowing what it feels like or to have them violated?
yeah, for sure. So I feel like in the past when I wasn't living right, I wasn't setting proper boundaries. I wasn't communicating right. It was like I was scared to communicate. I didn't. I was bottling it all in. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really expressing my pain. I wasn't communicating, and that ultimately that's why I would drink. You drink, you get that liquid courage, and then anytime I tried to communicate, then it never came out right. It always come out aggressive, and even if I did say it right, it didn't hold no value because I was under the influence, so that people didn't value the words that I was saying. So I definitely believe boundaries is a big part of being powerful because if you can't set boundaries up, people's going to walk all over you, and you'll never have that respect because people like you teach people how to treat you. If you let people walk all over you, then you're going to feel it. It's going to affect your self respect. You're going to feel less valuable, and I believe the boundaries is a big one. Feeling powerful.
Boundaries indeed. Mr. Reed, do you see your pain in something you've conquered and left behind, or as a part of you that you've integrated, like a scar that reminds you of your strength?
Definitely, I carry it with me. Um, I definitely carry it with me, man. It's essentially it's what keeps me going. It keeps me fueled up. I view pain as fuel. I don't view it as a bad thing no more. I used to have that victim mentality. I'd view it as a bad thing. Oh, this happened to me. This happened to me. And now it's more of a this happened for me. I believe everything was the training to build me into who I am, so I can help other people. I believe the Lord put me in this position and gave me this pain as a blessing. We can look at it as a curse and a blessing. I view it as a blessing, and I use the energy to my advantage.
If you could send a message back to yourself in the deepest trios of pain, what would you say?
Oh, that's difficult. So you're saying how would I what would I tell my older self?
Yes.
Whew, that's a hard question. That's a hard question. I don't believe there's something I could tell myself, but if there was something I'd tell myself, I would simply just say, "Hey man, be aware of where you're putting your energy." Because I've always had that high energy, so I'd be like, "Be aware where you put your energy. You have a lot. You have a lot of potential. Make sure you're channeling into the right places that build you instead of destroy you." Other than that, man, it's all in God's hands and God's timing.
Mr. Reed, for someone listening who is right in the middle of their own anguish, what is one thing they need to hear most right now?
Really, you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to that voice inside you. It's God in you. If you're feeling fear and you feeling regret, that's a notification. If you're feeling depressed, you're feeling stressed, it's a notification. So you have to navigate from there. You navigate. You create a plan. If you're feeling depressed, what is it? You have to sit with yourself. You have to learn yourself. You have to sit there and listen. That's why I'm a firm believer in meditation because you have to sit there and reflect. a lot of in this world so fast paced. We got so much stuff going on, so many stressors. It's so important that we sit there with ourselves and we reflect and we listen. So if you identify what's causing you pain, what's causing you regret, then you know what not to do. If you identify what makes you feel good and fulfilled, also you know that's your map. You got to map your internal. Take inventory. That's your navigation source.
Is power a permanent state or is it a daily practice, Mr. Reed? What do you reconnect with your power on days when the echoes of the old pain feel loud?
Yeah, it's definitely a process, and life is a process. It's never a destination. I mean, you can go in the gym for 3 months and you can start looking good, but you quit for 2 weeks, you're gonna start looking sloppy again. So I believe life is a process, and I believe as soon as you understand that the process is where the beauty is, the better off you are. The process is what keeps you happy because you can get that car, but in a couple of years it's gonna start losing value. The parts is gonna get messed up. So everything's a renewal process, and that's why I understood that throughout the process I had different problems and different pains, but I just became aware that it's part of the process. But if I know that I'm headed into the right direction, and direction that's building me and serving me, and I feel fulfilled through this process, I know I'm good. But if I'm headed down a path where I'm feeling fear and regret and all these other negative emotions, then you're not on the right path.
Mr. Reed, how has this journey changed the way you perceive challenges and setbacks that inevitably still arise in your life?
I view challenges and setbacks as a learning opportunity, man. I really just view everything as training. So when I get a challenge, I'm saying yes. Now this means I'm about to hit the next level. Once I overcome this, I'm gonna get knowledge, I'm gonna get experience, and I'm gonna use it to my advantage. It's just building up momentum. I like today. I love challenges. Every day is a challenge. I have a long to-do list every single day, and it's continued. I mean, like used to it would be I had a small to-do list, and once I overcame that, I felt fulfilled. But as you go throughout the journey and you build, you get more of a workload, more things on your to-do list, more things to make you feel fulfilled. And that's the beauty of it, man, because the more you build, the more problems you have. You know what I'm saying? What's the quote? More money, more problems. You can view money as just success in life, whatever your success is. But the more success you get, the more problems you have, the more responsibility you have. So you just got to be aware of that. Throughout the journey, it's just part of it. You get stronger, but you also get more weight to carry.
Mr. Reed, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 fourth season, and my baby podcast law 101 and mental health 101, love letters in third season, and movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in second season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So, Mr. Reed, how has your transformed pain become your mission? In what way you have now using your power to serve or guide others?
Yeah, so it started off as an individual thing, man. It became a personal mission, and once I transformed and I felt fulfilled with myself, I knew it was time to put other people in position too. So now all I do every day, I continue with my personal process, and I have a team of people, veterans, active duty military, and I put them on the same process, and I just mentor them. We communicate, and we're all just headed to success, man. and we work together just to be better men. And I love it. My people love it. They get a lot of results, man. A lot of awareness, feeling fulfilled, and we'll stay on this mission, stay on this process.
Indeed. And Mr. Reed, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
For sure. Hey, so check me out on Instagram. It's reidjones.fitness. Reid is Reid, Jones, Jones, dot fitness. A verified account. I post there daily on my feed and on my stories. You can see what I'm doing and what my clients doing, what my team's doing. You can find me on Facebook, Reid Jones verified account. Same thing, blue check mark. I post the same thing, so you can see what I'm doing every day and what my team's doing. Let's get it.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Reed Jones, because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering training to come. So, Mr. Reed, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you, brother.
More to come, people. See you soon.